Other for breaking news that is here and abeto dwa e wo Ghanatube am so be gidi nyina bro. E wo chese Ghanatube say na be am so be hu ade e koso concerning the suspended Chief Justice. You see amena okasa no monim say all the case bi akọ Accra High Court. Accra High Court abona asem negu ye say enfamra kwan so odofo. You see amena okasa no case na suspended Chief Justice get to Torkornoo e dey call Accra High Court no. Tisi amena okasa no judgment kesi aba Accra High Court abo Chief Justice get to Torkornoo nsem nyina to watch ne see eni njina so bia na emu oha odofo momenko na yenkoti nsem na ekoso ewo High Court ni mbagisia concerning the suspended Chief Justice nsem na aye deja Ghana asi obi aka wansa odofo momenko na yenkoti nsem nyina chiremu ewo Ghanatube ni mbagisia.
A first story, the High Court Human Rights Division has struck out suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo's application for judicial review. The court described it as an abuse of the court processes and for lack of jurisdiction. In a suit to the court, Chief Justice Torkornoo said the committee's hearings already conducted should be declared as not happened because the committee was not properly constituted. Its processes were irregular and that the committee did not give her her day in court. We'll talk to our court correspondent. But first, let's take a listen to the Chief Justice at her very first and last news conference.
It is this total absence of compliance with all known rules of fair hearing that has caused my lawyers to file application for judicial review in the High Court to declare all the proceedings void. Because the clear danger is that through this flagrant violation of CI 47,
Gertrude Torkornoo there. We'll stay on the subject now and connect with our court correspondent, Sixtus Dong Ulu. Sixtus, let's talk about the event today. Well, now, before we speak to Sixtus, let's share with you the journey so far up until where we are today. The CJ's concerns so far include the proceedings being held by the committee on May 15, 2025, where she says that should be declared null as they violated her rights to a fair hearing. Her other concern also include the fact that she's yet to be furnished with authenticated copies of the petitions against her. Remember, she makes this very clear at the news conference. She's asked the court to halt the removal processes, declare that the committee is not properly constituted, and also order caution all proceedings of the committee so far. Also, there you have it, the concern she's raised, what she wants from the court today. We know the court has thrown out the matter. The court says that it lacks jurisdiction, but also said it constitutes an abuse of court or the judicial process. Joining me now is Martin Pebu, who's a private legal practitioner. Martin, thank you so much for your time here. But
she said, na me catch you say suspended Chief Justice no. Usha, and then the choir say, Obaba one day, I say, oh, Tinton time, the way Omode Menam Quansuna may Brenna didn't know, and can one day own to me, Mamma, and Tim say, okay, Tinton time, John Ramani Mahama, or the four, Biddy Jumana, then to form the Siano, Accra High Court, case not the court, yes, a lackey jurisdiction, and I think yes, a abuse of the court's processes. Just say, or person abuse the court in the processes, and you see, case not the court a high court a lackey jurisdiction. Or the four, when they say, just say, get to Torkornoo suspended Chief Justice, no, just say in summer echoes were Ghana, Haman himself was crano, as some no the copy more crano, Munyan did not say, in Semno, I did judge, Siano, Accra High Court was striking out in the application of the court, what dismissing the cry say. A lackey jurisdiction, and now things you see or abusing court processes. Not for when they semi deja concerning suspended Chief Justice, ninsem na chese ekos wo Ghana ha say nka me de ma adwenche ne ane say nka by this time do tumi ba bonche ka say okay kwan na me fast na e den obese sika nti kwan na me fast ne de edoso nti no tinton time bit medjuma e den ato but still ano ye ma me say that be on pene dodofo when they breaking news abeto dwa me so be ni nyina brel e wo Ghanatube manko na ye ntua nsem ne so mra sisi a Ghanatube so.
What do you think about this? She hits another dead end.
Yes. What should we say?
Well, like I was asking your thoughts about the court proceedings today. We know the court has said this is an abuse of process. Alongside that, they also lack jurisdiction to hear the matter. She hit another dead end, so to speak. What are your thoughts on that? It would appear we lost that connection. With the Martin Kpebu, who is a private legal practitioner. We've been talking about the Chief Justice. Remember, she took a matter to court and hoping that because, according to her, her rights were violated, the court will hear her case and agree with her that indeed her rights were violated. And so the removal processes against her should be halted because, again, she also asked that the committee is not properly constituted. Right, but we know that from what our court correspondent has been reporting so far, the court says, look, this is an abuse of our processes. We lack jurisdiction over this matter and has thrown out the case. Whether or not this means she's hit a dead end is what we're trying to find from private legal practitioner Martin Kpebu. But this is what has been going on so far. The Chief Justice has lost that case. So. Of court. While we wait to reconnect with the resource persons, including our court correspondent, listen attention to something else. Really important legal matter because the former board chair of the Ghana Airports Company Limited, Paul Adom Otre, has rejected accusations of possible involvement in a contract being probed by the Office of the Special Prosecutor for possible corruption-related offences. Now, he maintains he did not sign the said contract as he accuses the investigative body of engaging in witch hunt. Adom Otre is to appear before the OSP later today. Now, he has been speaking ahead of this matter on his own program.
This is what we know, and this is how it works. The board told them that, yes, you have told us what it is, but there's no real evidence. You haven't given us any evidence that, in fact, we are losing money. And then they said that to do that, we have to work with your management to come and tell you, because we need access to your systems. When we get access to your systems, then we'll be able to tell you in the things that are the revenue that's happened already. So today is July. They will take last year's revenue and show you that this revenue that you got 1 million cedis, you could have gotten 3 million cedis. This revenue that you have 2 million cedis could have gotten 6 million cedis. So the management gave them that, and then they did that. And then the management brought them to the board the second time and said the people have finished their work, so let the board hear them. So the board heard them. And then they seem to know what they are talking about. They seem to show that, yes, revenue was lost and revenue can be gained. So the board told management that, okay, go ahead, which is also normal. The board tells the management, MD and your people, go ahead and work with them and report back to us. So they did, and they went to work with them. And then we continue our meetings. I had forgotten about it. I don't know anything about it. It was Manasseh Azuri who told me that the contract had been signed by the managing director on 4th of December, 4 days or 3 days to election. And I said, well, okay, I don't know. I didn't know. This conversation is about 2 weeks ago. I didn't know whether the contract has been signed. I didn't find out whether the contract has been signed because it's not necessary. The board has finished its work. Whatever management does, if the management need the board again, they'll come back to the board.
Right, so let's hear from the journalist who's just been mentioned in that editorial by Paul Adom Otre, who's now at the center of this investigation, right? The investigative journalist Manasseh Azuri Awene responded to Adom Otre's comments, confirming prior communication and accusing Paul of failing to respond to agreed questions despite repeated promises. Manasseh challenged Paul's denial of knowing the company behind the GACL contract, claiming he had earlier admitted meeting his owners with documented evidence showing prior interactions even before board discussions. He also dismissed Paul's claim that the deal involved no payment, citing past revenue assurance contracts where companies received millions without proving any actual recovery.
Order for when they breaking news about you see, I'm also beginning in our Ghana concerning the suspended Chief Justice. Get to Torkornoo, the Siano Accra High Court were born in 70 to Egu. Yes, a lucky jurisdiction. And now, yes, court processes were abusing it too much. Into Siano, you are born as 70 to Egu. I some not the call High Court, and you are born in Egu. I'm beginning in Abreu. I will Ghanatube of memory if you somebody like no subscribe, no share, no notification, but no man send a bear. I'll bring you a BB drop content say, I will when you're in temper, no one to for the four. Aha. And I made a suspended Chief Justice in the same BC or Ghanatube. So, Macramuna, Madame Munasi.